The broadcast is live.
Recording started.
Talk shoes. Recorded live.
Good morning, good evening, wherever you may be across the nation or around the world. Once again, you are listening to the VMware Communities Roundtable Podcast. Today is Wednesday, October 28th, 2020. My name is Eric Nilsson, and with me today I have my regular co-host, Matt Lungeth. Matt, how are you doing today?
Eric, I am well. I would remember or ask all of our listeners and viewers to remember here that we come into the end of the month and the beginning of next to get out and vote. Regardless of your political affiliation or whatnot, voting is coming up in the U.S. on November 3rd. So please exercise your right and get out there and make your vote known.
I guess we can't miss that for sure. It is a beautiful California day here in the Bay Area. We have sunny skies. It's like 75 degrees, 72 to 75, sunny and beautiful. Maybe we're going to finish out 2020 with some nice weather and move in without any more fires. I know we got some fires in Colorado, so I feel bad for the people in Colorado that are living with more smoke. I heard they got some snow yesterday, so that's good. Maybe 2020 is going to be calming down, and I know that we've been doing a lot of things this year for VMworld, a lot of things for vExperts, and now we're going to finish out this show today with our launch of the new VMTN platform. So we've got Jenny here. We're going to do some screen sharing. So if you want to go check out what it looks like, you can go to youtube.com/vbarbecue, BARBECUE, and you can check out the video. And we're kind of showing what the screens look like. Going to do some review of the feature set with Jenny. So we have Jenny Gonzalez. She's the VMTN community manager. New forms, new look and feel. Should be a good show, but as always, Matt, I will push it back to you. How's the weather in your beautiful state?
Well, still down in the Carolinas today. I think this will be the last good day that we have here before what is now yet another hurricane, Hurricane Zeta, coming in up over the coast. Not affecting this area, but significant rain through the mid-Atlantic through the weekend. But looks like everything is as good as we could be asked for today. Beautiful sunny skies, calm waves, about 75 degrees and relatively low humidity. Absolutely unbelievable for the end of the October.
Great, right? I'm hoping for clean sailing as we make it through the U.S. election. Things settle down here. Certainly politics on both sides of the house, but I'm looking for that good weather and heading into Christmas season. Oh my gosh, or what I should say is the holiday season for some people, and other people it's whatever season it needs to be. All right, so getting on to a little bit of news, we have the Modern Network event that's coming up November 16th. So we always do a plug for that. Pat Gelsinger is going to be there talking about modern networking, as well as some of our network experts, some of our big CTO leaders. So you want to register for that. It's going to be live streaming. Should be good. I think we've all learned from VMworld is that the live stream sets they have for keynotes are pretty nice, and so we should be able to have another nice event there. You can go to VMware.com and register for the networking event, Modern Networks. You can't miss it on the front page. Go register, and then we will send you a notification for the event November 16th. So coming up. Can't believe it's already coming into November. The year has felt like it has been so strange that I can't believe that we're coming into the holiday season and wrapping up the year. A lot of good stuff, though, coming up for next year. We're going to have some fun. And certainly the VMTN upgrade is one of those things that we're doing. So we'll just get right into it because we've got kind of a late start. So let's talk to Jenny Gonzalez. So Jenny, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself, how long you've been at VMware, and what do you work on? Obviously, we're going to talk about VMTN, so that's relevant, but just do the 1-minute elevator pitch about yourself.
Yeah, so like you said, I'm Jenny. I'm the VMTN community manager. So I work on the forums at VMware, all the communities that you get to go to and ask your questions, answer questions, share your knowledge with others. Also run the VMTN community Twitter handle. So if you have any questions and aren't on forums, you can ask on Twitter. That will be routed as well. we've been working on this upgrade for the past year almost, and it's been really exciting. I'm happy to share it with everyone and have this launch happen and see all the nice feedback that we get back, hopefully, from that.
So VMTN, a little bit of history. VMTN's been around since 2003, right? If I some early time where we were on Jive forums, and I know we did a podcast on that. I'll look up the podcast number where we talked about VMTN. But we've been around a long time, but it's interesting to see community move from the VMTN platform to where it was a lot of question and answer, a lot of moderators, but also a lot of social, because Twitter, Facebook, and LinkedIn, and Instagram, and other channels that we support didn't exist. Where now these channels exist, so we see communication going all over the place. So VMTN's kind of broadened its scope a little bit, where we do have sections for the other social channels, right?
Definitely, yeah.
Yeah. All right. So we're going to talk about forums, but then there is this notion that, we do have some community elements, and we do have business units that definitely would like to participate and engage with community members. So we've always had, maybe we should start with what's new with VMTN, with the notion of the coffee houses and the ability to have community leadership around topics. Why don't you take us through what's going to change there? And then we can also talk about some of the VMTN styling and other things.
Yeah, of course. So kind of the scoop on what's new is previously on the current platform, we are organized by product. So what we kind of did is kind of group them into new communities. So we have product and service based communities that are SDDC, networking, digital workspace, desktop hypervisor, and a few others, betas, education. And those higher level communities will have the product communities under those. Just a little bit different navigation, a little bit easier to find. So that's one big change that is happening on the new platform. Another new addition is we added 2 new rank levels and changed a few of the names. So got a little bit of a refresh on those icons from branding as well. So that's a new added thing there. We also will have new badges that Chorus provides. So that's the Chorus is the new platform we're moving on to, and they have a little bit of a different setup there for badges. So those are going to be given based on logins, topic starts, basically like discussions, replies, solutions, likes, and different things like that.
Nice.
And as Eric mentioned, we will have community membership now. So recently on as you may know, on Jive, we have basically the only way you can really interact with a community is to follow a forum. And we wanted to kind of give members the ability to join an actual community and try to communicate with each other and, see who is a leader in this community, who are other members of this community, if I have questions, and just want to reach out to someone who's actually really active in a specific community. So that's going to be a new addition that I think people will really like, and something that we've definitely been looking forward to.
Yeah. So I guess I'll drill down a little bit. So in the joinable communities, right, where I think we've been using the term coffee house loosely, but you think of it as a coffee house. We have these coffee houses that you can go into, and then there is, all of the forums that are in that coffee house, but then there's also a landing page. And then what you're saying is you can actually join that coffee house and then see a listing of other people that have joined that area, right?
Yes, exactly.
Okay. All right. So let's talk a little bit about then, if we have these coffee houses or these communities that exist that you can join, what's different about the leadership? I know we've mentioned leadership a little bit, but now that you can join, I guess you can have people that can interact with those people that join.
Yes, definitely. So what we've kind of thought about for the new platform is having leadership for these quote unquote coffee houses. And the leadership will consist of directors, managers, and individual contributors. For these, we have specific owners of the communities that will be directors. For the manager and individual contributor positions, we are thinking that you'll probably need to apply and be voted in as the manager or the individual contributor. And this is just to ensure that people are actually going to care about the community that they're, running, and make sure that it stays active, and just, that there's someone that cares about the actual community and can talk to people and just, keep it running.
Right. So my favorite example of this kind of concept, if you're trying to get your head around it, is the desktop hypervisor community, right? The desktop hypervisor community is a coffee house that focuses on Workstation Pro and Fusion Pro, right? So if you're using Workstation and Fusion Pro, you can go into that coffee house and join it. And then the community director, who happens to be Michael Roy, and if you know Michael Roy, he comes on our podcast. He gives away free Fusion and Workstation cards. He's the director of that community. You can have more than one director. You could have a company director like Michael, who works for VMware, but you could also have a community member be a director there. And then they can organize events, right? They can organize things to do with their community members, right? Such as give away free Fusion and Workstation cards. He's going to love me for saying that. But that's the concept there, is that now Michael has his own community that he can engage with, run, and do events and showcase videos, blog articles, and things beyond just form questions. But obviously form questions are going to be a big part of that. So I think that's an interesting concept that you as a community manager get to oversee now.
Yeah, I'm definitely excited for that, and the partnerships that I'll have working on these communities. So definitely something to look forward to.
Yeah, I would say that we have been having these community stakeholder meetings with the people that own the coffee houses inside of VMware. And I think this is the first time in years that we've actually had, the BUs show up and be participants in a coffee house or the community, versus just having people in answering questions on forums.
Definitely. Yeah, I would agree.
Yeah. So are there communities that we are still recruiting leaders or looking for leaders?
Yeah, definitely. So I think we're still recruiting for the SDDC community. I believe the networking community as well. And I think those are the main two that we're still looking for, high level directors, and all of them we're still looking for individual contributors and maybe a few managers sprinkled in as well. So if anyone's interested, definitely feel free to shoot us an email and let us know what you're interested in.
Right. And then there is a membership section, right, for each one of these coffee houses. So I can go in and see what's new, who the members are, as well as who leadership is, and then they can communicate through a blog in that membership area. Yeah,
definitely.
Right. Okay. Good. Other ones, education and certification. I know that that's a coffee house. I think we have a stakeholder that's going to run that, and that'll be interesting, because then there'll be a live person that you can engage with from the company to talk about education and certification. And I know that there is also voting built into Chorus now as well, right? So that these guys can query their communities to find out what's important to them, right?
Yep, exactly. Yeah, that'll be a good new feature, I think, for a lot of these communities.
Nice. So, all right. So we have voting, we have coffee houses. I think you mentioned all of the coffee houses that were out there, right? See if I can. Maybe we should just mention them again. So we got STDC. Yeah, go for them.
Oh, okay, so we have SDDC, networking, digital workspace.
So while you're describing it, why don't you give us a little bit of SDDC, what is it focused on? And then we just go through each one of them.
Okay, got it. So let's see here. SDDC is going to encompass storage, vSphere, vCenter, vRealize, automation. What else? Networking is going to be NSX. Digital workspace will have Horizon and Workspace ONE. desktop hypervisor, like Eric mentioned, is going to be Fusion and Workstation. We have a cloud coffee house that will be VMware Cloud on AWS, Wavefront, vCloud, VMware Cloud Foundation, and a few others. Education and certification is going to be certifications and different education communities. A lot of those are going to be private, but I know a lot of you definitely use those, so that's where you're going to be spending a lot of your time. Support is going to have Skyline, App Defense, and I think there's one more. I don't think we mentioned VMware Code, so that one, Eric, I don't know if you want to have a little bit more say on what's going to be there.
Well, I just thought from a higher level, just conversation about like, so code will contain the forums for developer topics, as well as showcase all the VMware Code experiences that we're running. And, you know, this is kind of, we had the community places on code.vmware.com. We're moving the code community activities into the code coffee house. So, I don't think we have to go through every form that's under there, but just in general, things that we're going to be talking about. So maybe you can explain what beta. I know we're going to have a beta coffee house now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, you know, historically, obviously, betas are private and invite only. You can sign up for those, I believe, as well. But basically, what we wanted to do with the beta coffee house is for anyone who's interested that is not currently a part of a beta, but they want to know more about it, you can go into the coffee house itself and start asking questions on, you know, how you can join. If, you know, you can't join the current one that's going on, maybe you can sign up and be a part of the next one. So that's the main idea of having the public beta coffee house there.
All right, so you can go in and actually see the roadmap of betas that are coming down the pike, right?
Yeah.
It's always been a little bit of an art to understand what new betas are coming and when they're coming. So that gives the beta managers a place to engage with the community and get people interested in testing.
Yeah, definitely.
I know also we have a social house where we're going to have the VX, YouTube, LinkedIn, Twitter, podcasts, all listed under there, much like we had in the old community, just as a kind of a place to go and see what's actually happening around social and the social channels. We have links to Carbon Black. I guess I should say that you also created a blog article just to kind of cover this. So maybe we can share that with the community. And if you're on YouTube, I will share your blog article. And they will actually put it on YouTube. So let me just go do that. And then you can just take us through the article.
Yeah.
Another easy way to get to the blog article is just go to communities.vmware.com for our listeners. And then there is up there at the top of the page a link to Jenny's great blog article on everything that's happening with the community upgrade.
And just as a last resort, oh, there we go. Shared it on here, as Julia mentioned, so hopefully that works as well.
Yep. Okay, so we hit the, I'll copy this in the TalkShoe chat as well, this URL. So why don't you just take us through the blog and we'll let Matt ask you some questions.
Yeah, sounds good. So as a lot of you already know, since you've been community members for quite a while, we are on an on-prem platform called Jive, and what we're moving to is a SaaS platform called Khoros. So Jive, end of life sometime late last year, I believe. A company called Lithium took them over, and then now they're partnered with Khoros. So now that's who we will be moving on to. You know, we've listened.
Jenny, I'm sorry, with that, a question. So let's say that there's a post or a community, you know, thread that I've really been following or go back to reference that was on the old Jive platform. Are those old posts being transitioned over to Khoros?
Yes, definitely. So nothing will be deleted unless it's something that has had no activity within the last, I believe, 5+ years. So anything like that will be archived. It still will not be deleted. So if there is something that, you know, needs to be brought back to being public, we can definitely do that as well. But, you know, no worries, nothing's going to actually be deleted.
Yeah, I think that it's also important to mention that when we say haven't seen any engagement, what we really mean is traffic. So we did look at all the old stuff, and if it had page views, we kept it, right? So,
yeah.
and I think it had to have page views in the last 10 years. So in the last 10 years, everything got saved. Beyond 10 years, which would be 2010, things before 2010, it had to have traffic. And if it didn't have any traffic, then we archived it, right? So there was a level of that. And then anything that was over 5 years old, so from 5 to 10 years old, which is 2010 to 2015, we actually looked at, did it have more than 100 views, right? So if things that were older than 5 years old had less than 100 views, we actually looked at it and decided whether any of this was really good content or whether it was just didn't have anybody ever looking at it, or, you know, a handful of views. So there was a lot of stuff we archived, and then anything that was newer than 5 years, we kept regardless, except for obsoleted products, right? I think we looked at products that were turned off, that were obsoleted, no longer supported, out of support. I think we archived some of that stuff as well, right?
Yep. Yeah, that sounds right.
Right.
So for non-archived articles, so let's say it's current in 5 years and it's currently in production, if I have a link to a specific post bookmarked, will that URL change? In other words, do I need to be a little worried about, you know, how I have some things maybe saved as a user?
Yeah, so that's definitely a concern I think that a lot of our stakeholders had as well, but we have confirmed that everything is going to be redirected through Khoros. So there's no need to worry about, you know, links not working anymore. It'll just be redirected to the new Khoros link.
Awesome.
So we have, I think, 30 million pieces of content when we started, and I think we took it down to like 15 million. You know, we're not archived, but all of the content will then have redirects. So there will be 15 million redirects that go from the Jive document ID to the new Chorus document ID.
Yeah.
So good to have that. Articles.
Yeah, great for it. So for people that are out there, let's say that they linked in a blog article to the old Jive post, or the post that would have been in the Jive forum, they don't need to go back and update those links. Everything will just carry through. Sounds great.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, back to the blog article.
Okay, so let's see.
What's up?
So we definitely took advice and feedback from a lot of our super users, a lot of our moderators, stakeholders who are on the community often, just to, you know, see what are the things that people, you know, want to see change, what do they not want to see change, what needs to be updated a little bit, what doesn't. So
I killed it.
So got those that feedback from everyone, and that's kind of how we decided on what we wanted to do and how we wanted to make the platform better for everyone. So the main thing that I think people notice right away is that the actual look and feel of the platform is completely different. It's very updated. If you go to, you know, VMware.com, it's going to have the same look and feel as the corporate branding there. So that's going to be a really big change, I think, for everyone visiting. And let's see. So another thing is, you know, being on the new platform, we're hoping that we will definitely have a lot more reliability in the speed of the platform as people use that. Again, just better communication for everyone using the new join feature, and then hopefully an easier navigation for everyone with these new coffee house communities that we have. So as we mentioned earlier,
I'm sorry to interrupt, but just I saw one of the points that you had made on there was user profiles. So just from something from practical, my same username and password will work once we move over to the platform?
Yeah, so we're going to be still using the My VMware login, so there's not going to be any changes there. We did have one question, I guess usernames potentially might not have an underscore or not allow that. Eric, do you know if that's still something that we're going to have potentially change, or is that good to go?
I don't have an update on that. I didn't keep track. I thought that there were no changes. I know length weren't changes, and I know that
Mhm.
I know there are special characters like periods that can't be in usernames any longer. And those are not your email address, just your username. And so your username will get truncated and put an underbar. But when you log into My VMware, you use your My VMware login, and it'll just take you in. And if your username was changed, you'll see it changed, with a underbar versus a period, right? So
Yes.
there
Yeah.
were a couple changes like that. There were super long usernames. If you had a username that was, and this is not your email address, it's just your username. If you had a super long username, I think there's a truncation after some number of characters, like 50 or some number that only affected less than a handful. And
Yeah.
we have 5 million users, and by and large, 4,999,900 and 950 were fine. There were a handful that would get modified. But as you log in, you just use your email address to log in through My VMware, and you just come in and you'll see your new username if it did get modified.
Yep. Sorry about the underscore. I was actually talking about the period, like Eric mentioned, that will be changed to an underscore, and then you can decide if you want to keep it that way or change it. So that's the only change.
Yeah, I think you can change your username as well. There is a process if you don't really like the underscores versus the periods. One thing that I thought was interesting is the navigation itself, right? So I know people have complained a lot about, navigating communities was a chore. Most people just bookmark things. And you have to go on the current community, you have to go down and look through, this big overview section to find the community. Now we have top level nav, right?
Yes, definitely. So that'll be hopefully make it a lot easier for people to navigate through the new community.
Can we see a little sneak preview of the UI, Eric, for viewers that are joining us on YouTube?
We can. So I do have the site. So I will stop sharing. I will go to this tab. This is if you're on YouTube and we are sharing. I believe that I am sharing my screen. I should check that out.
Yep.
Yes,
you are. Looks great.
You see the front page, and again, you still have a lot of the common things: the My VMware link, your help link, your browse, where you can browse, view discussions, view documents, blogs, ideas. So we have a very similar layout from the old, from the very top VMTN network. But then, as you go to this next level, we actually have menus that take you to the actual communities themselves. So if I want to come in and go just directly to vSphere, I can just drag down now, and I can see all the major subsections that are covered in each of the coffee houses. So the coffee houses tend to go up across the top nav, and then you can drop down into any one of the areas where you want to engage. So if I want to go in and engage with the Fusion, I just can come down here. It's very clear where it is. I can click on that, and it'll drop me right into the Fusion forums, right? Now make me a liar, but I can come in here. Now this section that I'm demoing is just our GUI section. It doesn't have live content, so bear with me. There isn't actually any content in this, but it is showing the GUI. So I can come in here now, and I'm in the Fusion area. Doesn't have any content, but I can then click on the Fusion discussions or the Fusion documents, and I'm right there. So in previous on VMTN, finding a place to navigate from section to section was actually hard. Now I can actually come, I have these top level menus that list all of the major areas that we have for discussions and documents, and you can click there and go. At the same time, we have join up at the top. So if you want to join a given coffee house, you can just click on the join, and it'll take you into that membership area, and away you go. And then we have some extra things, like there's global communities, there's virtual appliances, vMug. These are just landing pages Carbon Black actually links off to the Carbon Black community because we acquired Carbon Black. They have their own community. It's also on Chorus, so that you can go directly to their community. And then we have a social drop down, which it takes you to our blog area, as well as podcasts, vExperts, and the social channels. And so, again, nice menu system where if you're on the front page of the old communities, you actually had to look around a lot. And so now you're just right at the top nav, and you can just go directly to the place that you want to go engage. At the same time, we do have the join community, and we do show the number of members that have joined. So it's very easy to see how many members there are. Again, this is a stage site that it's not in production yet, so there are no members. But as we go live, we would expect that to be the case. In the case of Carbon Black, they're already running, so they do have members. And then we do have a section for popular forums, latest topics, latest posts, all the stuff that we would normally have on a front page of a community, but it's down below the fold. And then we also have a news section where we can link off to things that are actually happening. So that's the nav. That's a demo of the nav. Am I missing anything here, Jenny? I think that is it. I can go do
Yeah,
a
I think that's it.
And the sign in takes you to my VMware. So if I sign in, I should be able to drop into my VMware. I put in my normal my VMware credentials, which is just what everybody does if you're a VMware customer or in our ecosystem. And it just brings you back. And now you can see that I am actually logged in. I'm logged in as Eric and I Pro. It picks up my image. I'm logged in, and all the content that I normally have on communities would be exposed here. So again, very direct way into the content that we're here. I guess I can also, Jenny, drill down into a coffee house. So there's digital workspace. It's really just an area that I can come into, and it highlights things that are actually happening in the actual, digital workspace area. They have announcements. They have their own little branding, their own banner. They have their own blog articles. They have videos that showcase that. I have cookie settings. I have to set my cookies to be able to see the videos. So when you come into this site, you'll see that you have to actually accept cookies to watch videos, see Twitter feeds, and so forth. But then a landing page where you can actually see how many members, and if there are sub areas that you can join as well, and you can join sub areas, you can actually see how many sub areas are here and how many members there are for each sub area as well. So you can actually kind of join and see who the members are. I can go into a sub area just to kind of showcase. Let's see if I can do that. I don't know if the stage site has this, but I can go into a sub area and I can actually see who the directors are. In this case, it is VM Sway, I guess that's his name.
Yeah.
Josue, yep. So Josue is that. And you can see who the members are. You can view all the members by clicking, see a pop-up. And you can actually see who the manager is, who future IC contributors are. And then the management can actually add this. And then they can actually post content. There are blogs, forums, knowledge base, ideas, and contests that can happen for all the members in this digital workspace area. So again, a place that a community manager can engage with all the members that sign up. I've already signed up for this, so you don't see a join button. Can't join because I've already joined many of these communities. But if I hadn't joined, it would give me a join button here, and I can just join one click, and I'm a member of this community. And then I can also get notifications via email from the communities that I've actually joined. So again, community site. I could come in and also, I don't know if this stage has my profile information. I know that we've expanded what you can see on a profile, on your profile, to see your content. I think that's new, right? Where I can see all the badges that I've earned, right? You can view all the badges. Jenny, I can also see community statistics because I'm an admin, right? So but I can also see stats about myself, which is nice. I can see my aggregate. I've always wanted this on community where you can see your posts and you can see how many views you've got on your posts. So I don't know if you've been with VMware for a long time in our ecosystem, but I think in 2008, we actually had that on Jive where you could actually see, and we actually made a pretty graph of how is your content doing, right? If you post an article or you post a thread, how many people are actually seeing it, and kind of see the stats on your own activities, and also see all the badges you have and check out all the badges. So we like the fact that now Chorus gives us much more activity. You can actually, see how you're doing. You can actually see activity on your feeds. And so this ends up being a nice landing spot, or if you're an active community member engaging with other community on that content that's posted. Nice profile. Jenny, maybe we should flip and talk about the schedule. So what is the schedule for when some of this stuff is going to go live? What are users to expect over the next week and a half?
Yeah, so I'm not sure if anyone has noticed the announcement that is on the homepage, but I've been trying to give as updates as they come to everyone so that everyone's notified. I think we'll be having a new notification up to let everyone know that our current platform on Jive is going to go in read-only mode starting the 3rd of November at 7 a.m., I believe. And that just means you'll still be able to get into the platform. You'll still be able to go and search and read threads, read documents, but you will not be able to post your own comments or replies or your own articles. So that's going to start again November 3rd, the morning of November 3rd. And then we plan to go live on November 6th. So that is a Friday, and that's going to happen in the evening. I think that's about the most important dates for listeners here. Just to know, again, November 3rd, read only, and November 6th is go live.
Yeah, absolutely. Yep, that'll be interesting 3 days. It takes about 24 hours for the 50 million posts to be converted, either archived or converted, and then all the links built. So I think it's 24 hours from when we freeze Wednesday morning to when we'll actually have production servers updated with all the new content in the right structure, which is 24 hours. So that gets us to Thursday, midday. I think mid-Thursday, probably like 3 or 4 o'clock in the afternoon is when we'll actually have a production server up with all the latest content from Jive that will be there. Then I think the coffee house owners are going to go through and verify that everything looks good, and we have a 100 section test plan. They will go through to do some burn-in testing on the production, pre-launch burn-in. Then we have to do Friday evening DNS changes in the evening. Everything gets switched over. This is a SaaS service running on Chorus servers now, right? So that changes our interaction a little bit, and I think that's where we're hoping for some performance improvements, because we're using a SaaS cloud service that the vendor operates for their own community platform. So we're hoping to see under 5-second page loads across the globe. They have a caching server, a global caching server. We won't be on Akamai anymore. We're going to move on to a global caching server that is supported by Chorus, and so we've done some performance testing, and I think that the global response should be better, right? At least we're hoping we'll be better. So I think that's also in some details of the timeline. But then I think they're doing some search updates all through the weekend. So if you're on Global Services knowledge base environment, what's the name of their knowledge base? Matt, you should know what what is Global Service use for their articles? I forget the name of the service. They search communities. They're going to be updating their service as well. So that the global services knowledge base will be updated. We'll get the all the search taken care of. We'll be working on that weekend to kind of clean up and add new features. But if you're listening to this and you're interested in SDDC networking, digital workspace, desktop hypervisor, education certification support, you want to be a community leader or a community contributor, an individual contributor for that community, go in and check it out and message the community owners, and I'm sure they're looking for people that are interested in engaging and sharing content, and also sharing events and other things that are happening around their topics, which is, I think, should be a lot of fun for this. I'm a big sharing guy, so I like the idea of being able to share. We share all the different article types, Microsoft Word documents to source code sharing. They have a really nice scripting sharing source code object that allows you to mark it as code, which gives you some formatting for code. So I like Chorus in that it is a modern day platform that is up to date with the GUI editors much better. And even the form posts, I'll just throw this out. I know Jenny is monopolizing, but the form posts, we made very specific that we didn't go bigger, that we stayed dense. I think we still have per screen 16 form posts in the form listing. So if you're one of these people that like to scan form posts or browse things, we try to keep it just as dense as the previous Jive, right?
Definitely. Yep.
Yep. All right. So that covers timing, upgrade, coffee houses. Don't know if there's other topics that we need to cover from a standpoint of upgrading. I will look for questions in chat here on TalkShoe. I don't see anything from Tony. We got his links in, so that's good. We are doing a special podcast in chat. I see they're asking. We are doing a podcast this Friday with Kit Colbert to talk about the IT upgrade. The IT career
path.
Right. So we might not do a podcast next week. We'll see how busy we are. I don't think I have anybody scheduled for it, but we will attempt to do one on this Friday, and then we'll do it live, but then we'll post it as episode 533, so that we'll have an episode whether we do it live. We're not going to probably do one live next week because we'll be right in the middle of the upgrade.
Yep.
Very good. So, Jenny, you've been at this for now over a year, right? To get a platform with 5 million users upgraded to new users. I know there were some users that we dropped. I think there were 10,000 users that ended up getting dropped on the platform, right? Where these are users that hadn't been on the platform, hadn't logged in since 2009, had not bothered to convert their user to a My VMware user. So they were kind of a floating user that wasn't part of My VMware. And those users then were like 10,000, and we went through all 10,000, made sure none of them had ever logged in. These were these floating users. And then I think there were like 150 users that we couldn't identify correctly. And so we went through those 150, Jenny, me and you did directly, and looked at every single one of them. So ideally we shouldn't drop any user. But on a user that we do drop, we don't drop their content, correct?
Correct. Yeah. Yeah. That'll stay over, just, to not break up any replies, any posts. So that'll still be up. Just their profile I think it'll say anonymous or something like that.
Right. Yeah. Yep. So in the rare case that one of these super old users back in the 2006 to 2008 timeframe that haven't been logged in, that haven't been there for a long time, but they did have a popular piece of content, we did keep their content. We just made it anonymous. Right. So apologize to some of those old timers that have never been back. Their content will still live on, but they won't be getting credit for their content. I think there are a handful of those type of people that have lived out there. Before we end, there is one other important topic that if you're listening to this, let's talk about points. We've got people that have tons of points, the gurus on the current platform, where if you look at the list of gurus, they, a million plus points in the system. They've been at it for 15 years. Some of these guys haven't been back for the last 5 or 6 years, but they had all these points. Why don't you explain what we're doing with points?
Yes. So whenever a user is brought over into Khoros, they will have kind of start at net new 0 points in the new platform, but not to worry really there. Whatever rank that you left off on in Jive, that rank will still be brought over into Khoros. So you won't lose, your credibility. People will still know that you are a super user of the platform, that you have, all the knowledge that you have. So the only thing that really will change is just the number of points.
Right, and then we have alumni badges. So those I think we're giving you a badge if you were a guru over on Jive. You'll come over, your points will get reset, you'll get your rank appropriately. And is it alumni badge, or you just get the rank and you're at that current rank?
It's just the rank currently, but we have definitely talked about a badge, which that can definitely be made pretty easily as well. So
you come over, you don't have points, but you're at the correct rank, which gets you, you're at a rank that's up there, and the rank gives you the badge. So you could have the guru badge still, right? I guess. So you get the guru badge, but your points will actually say 0, but you'll be at that badge. And then we consider doing, kind of a alum badge for people that are out there that, we're out there. But yeah, so that's might be noticeable by everybody, where did my points go? So heads up, you do get your rank. You are in the ranked badges. So you will be at the appropriate rank, but we are setting points back to 0 so that people that are new that can come in can climb the leaderboard of points. And which should be fresh and nice, because some of the people that had in an insurmountable number of points in the ranking system, it's just kind of like, it's nice to go, reset that to 0. And I think it was just one of the things that Chorus said they did for us, right? So I don't think we really had a choice with that. But just a heads up there, that's what's actually happening with that. We still have this moderators, or moderators are still going to be moderating. So we have community leadership and directors, managers for the community, but then we still have moderators, right?
Yes, and they will encompass the whole platform still. So whereas leadership is just, community specific. So there's the difference.
Moderators can pop from one area to another area, clean up posts, clean up threads, moderate the forums as they always have.
Yes, exactly.
Okay, great. I like the fonts. I think the fonts are nicer. I like the look and feel. It's a little bit fresher. I would like to see a dark mode. If I had my bet, I would like to work on a dark mode. We don't have a dark mode yet, so the site is, the modern day VMware is a very white kind of site, right? It's very bright, very light colors, happy, nice. I would like to get a dark mode, and so that's going to be one of our priorities for next year, is to spend a little bit of time on a dark mode for forums, so that you can have forums up and running in your man cave or woman cave or your cave in general. A lot of people like to have a darker environment for their home offices, and so I think a dark mode would be a fun activity. Jenny, are you going to make a community resources area for people to come in and give you ideas?
Yeah, definitely. So that'll be up once we go live, and everyone can give any feedback. You can, see what's new, how to navigate the new discussions, new documents. There's a little bit of changes on names for things. So we'll definitely have a resources tab where everyone can see what is equivalent to Jive and, what are the new features in the platform.
Fantastic. Well, all right, we're at the top of the hour. Matt, anything else you want to know about the community upgrade?
No, looking forward to it. Obviously, over a year in progress, and I think it'll be a great upgrade and great feature enhancements for the community as a whole.
All right, I got to say this. The last time we did a huge upgrade onto a platform to platform, which this is from an old platform to a new platform. It launched, I think we did this in 2006 when I just started with the company, and it took us 3 months to get it debugged and running properly. So we're hoping for better than 3 months. So when we say we think it's going to be great and we love it, when you're talking 50 million records and 5 million users and upgrading, and the upgrade run takes over a day just to get data moved over, let alone all the users and my VMware. I don't think it's going to be fantastic. I think we're going to expect a lot of fire drills and things to fix. So bear with us as we go through this process. The process, we're hoping it won't take 3 months, obviously. We're hoping that it'll take the weekend like we would expect, and we'll be up and running. But we have everybody, IT, as well as Chorus IT, everybody on staff 24 hours a day for the first week to deal with any kind of issues that we're seeing. So feel free to reach out directly to us as opposed to tweet out to everybody in the world that you found something wrong. We would much prefer that you just direct tweet Eric and I Pro. If you direct tweet at me, I'll answer it. Most likely we know about it, but if we don't, I'll let you know. And thank you for submitting any kind of bug report that you have. Jenny, is there going to be a bug area that people obviously in the resources? I know we have that on stage. I assume that we'll make a post that people can report bugs on. And please just report them directly to us. We're working on it 24/7, and we'll be happy to keep you in the loop as we fix things that people find. Right.
Yep. Yeah, sounds good. I'll definitely have that bug area for people to let us know on the platform.
Yep. So bear with us and be polite and happy, because it's a wonderful 2020 year. Everybody's worked really hard on the platform. I think there's going to be really some good things, but I also think that we're going to need another 4 weeks to when we start running production environments and we get heavy load. We did performance testing, but when you get 1,000 or 2,000 people a day on a platform, it becomes kind of interesting. I know that when we launched Jive back in the day, we had 500 people live at any given time on the platform. So 500 people on a platform is a big platform load. If you look at communities in general, there's only 1 or 2 other communities that are as big as VMware's community. One is CNN. So CNN has a community that you can go in and complain about their stuff or talk about their stuff and et cetera, and have conversations about the news articles. And then Apple also used to run on Jive. They don't run on Jive anymore. They took it in-house. They're also a big community. So ourselves, Apple, and CNN were one of the 3 largest communities on the planet, and so bear with us. It's a big community. When it gets underweight, we'll get to see how performance runs. We'll be on it 24/7 live on calls, dealing with issues. And please let us know. Direct us. Come to the community. Post things on forums. We'll try to be as responsive as possible. And we appreciate the VMware community helping us, move things forward. So thanks a lot to everybody in the ecosystem that it works with us and engages with us and also answers questions and uses the platform. And we'll be here to try to fix things that go wrong, and hopefully things also will go right. And we're looking forward to people that want to engage with us in the coffee houses to kind of drive community forward in particular areas. We are working with William Lamb. We are going to be building a Raspberry Pi ESX coffee house where you can come in. Going to have some really cool stuff that we're working on going forward, because now we can have membership coffee houses focused on cool areas. And as long as we get some community leaderships, and if you would like a coffee house, we can build you one, right? You have to commit to it. You have to decide you want to cover a topic of an area doesn't have an area. Like William Lamb's come to us to talk about, ESX iFling and some of the stuff we're going to do there. It's going to be super cool. So, engage with us, help us make it better, be forgiving, and we'll do the best we can. So we are looking forward to it. And with that, Jenny, thanks for coming by. I know you're super busy with the whole project, so thank you for your time.
Thanks for having me. And I wish I was in sunny California or the Carolinas, where it's nice and sunny and warm. It's like 40 degrees here in Texas and cloudy and rainy. So not great, but still, trugging along.
There you go. It's 2020. Everybody be safe, be happy, and give everybody hugs. And we'll see you on the other side. Matt, thanks a lot for being here. We'll talk to you again.
We'll see everyone on Friday with our special episode with Kit.
All right. Thanks a lot.
Bye.
Bye-bye.